The Dumb Show. May 16th, 2025. 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. One goal, one night, one chance. Chris Peranto, Laura Logan, Roseanne Barr, Jason Shepard, T.S. Dixon, Damani Felder, Barry Morgenstein, Ryan Samuels, Lisa Regina. One night only. The race to 20K is on. Be part of it.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
All right, that wasn't too bad, right? I mean, we've gotten that down pretty fast, and I know nobody else does that. And Dan Bongino, if we have 30,000 people on, yeah, we're not going to do that. But at that point, we're going to have a completely different network. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Good to have everybody here. Amy, welcome back into the house. It's been 2 weeks since I've stared at you. 2 weeks and smiled and said, I'm sorry. I don't remember the name. Sean. Sorry, it's like 20 years ago. Isn't that Bare Naked Ladies or something?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to get the link so I can share that promo out on all my stuff.
But I'm not going to do it yet. It's too early. It's April. Like May 1st, we'll hammer it. Like 14 days is plenty. You do it any longer than that, and it's going to over penetrate, and it's going to be ugly. So all promo, it'll drop May 1st. That gives everybody that's 2 weeks. Okay, it's 2 weeks on the 16th. I can mark my calendar. So it's perfect timing. What's up, Ames?
Do we have like a special like T-shirt for that night or something? Some kind of special merch, like just for that night, like a one night only kind of thing?
Well, now we got to because you brought it up. So
You're
now I got to go. Thanks for adding that to my list. I really appreciate it, Amy. Wonderful that you got on vacation and got some rest and decided to come here and make my workload worse.
Tour shirt. You know, like the tour shirts where they have like all the names. You could just like list all the names and like.
Ooh, yeah.
It's a good, like a band shirt.
Like
That's
this.
cool.
Make a okay. I'll make a band shirt. Maybe in the spirit of Def Leppard or something. Sure. Yes. We'll just go ahead and do that between me polishing my Learjet and going water skiing in the Alps. I'm really excited for this. You know, I heard it's great this time of year. Welcome back, Amy. We got a good thanks. We got a good show tonight. Sorry that we started off late. We will go into overtime and we'll do what we're supposed to do no matter what, whether we hit goal or not. But speaking of goal, $300 is our goal. We do that every single night after Facebook shut down our monies and continue to do that. And they have, I'm in perfect standing with Facebook. We're not under any restrictions except we can't get stars and we can't get funding on our reels. And then they also took away our ad sets live. So we're kind of in a pickle without y'all. So if you have some help in your pocket and want to help out, thedumbshow.com/donate. We know a lot of you are saving up for the May 16th show, but Chuck said it best. He's like, you still got to make a living. And if we don't, then the May 16th show goes to supplement that. So we got to keep hopefully helping out. That's what we're looking for. It's free. You don't have to. We want to make sure you're in a good place. If you're in a good place, do it. If you're not in a good place, then just watch and enjoy. Don't forget to go skiing at New Ukraine Ski Resort. Yeah, would love to. Somebody said about the Avalanche. Listen, I have a rule. I do not talk negatively about other teams unless, we're kind of just poking fun. But I'm not serious. I will say this. The Colorado Avalanche played the greatest single playoff game I've ever witnessed in my life from any team. And I've watched every single team play for the last 30 years. I have, and Olivia and I will tell you, we watch the games religiously. We watch the playoffs like nothing else. I have never seen a team dominate another team. It was a perfect game. It was like literally, it was like a no-hitter, no runs. Somebody hit 5 home runs on the offensive team, and someone had hit for the cycle and threw somebody out from left field and tagged him out at first. That is the type of dominance that the Avs had. So I will tell you, it was amazing. It was beautiful to watch. We're going to talk a little bit about it tonight because we got to talk about Landeskog. We're going to give you an update on my cousin R3, or my nephew R3, and we said that we wanted to do that. So, Liv, I'm going to pull up some pictures. Do you want to tell them what's going on as soon as I find the pictures?
Yep.
So let's go ahead and do that. I've got a picture coming up, almost here. Ready, set, and go into video. Amy's gone. She's coming back. Hold on.
I'm just here in spirit.
Yeah, I'm. Can you tell it was the weekend? Because I am just.
All good.
And you were sick all
Everything
last week.
everything
so-
ran smoothly until I came back. That's what I keep
Oh
saying.
my God, so true. I was just
I'm
gonna
always the
say
problem.
that. All right, so Liv, why don't you go ahead and talk about R3? Tell them.
Okay, so on the 21st, we get weekly updates from his mom. Blood tests show R3 is in remission, which is
Yay.
fantastic. He still has more to do, but his white blood count was too low to do treatment last week, so he took a week off. So he started his cycle 4 treatment today, and today was gaming day during his treatment. So as of right now, he's going to go through this last week of treatment. And then after that, they should do a PET scan. And if everything looks good, then get him back to work. So he is, right now, everything's looking up. He's doing really well. So we're very happy.
Fantastic.
So very good news on him. Also have an update on Mel. Mel was kicked by her. No, this is not a joke, and it's not some funny TV show. She was kicked by a horse and broke her arm, and she required surgery. I sent her a text today. She had no desire to talk to me. It's for the first time ever because she calls every damn night, and said, "How you doing?" She goes, "I'm not doing too well. I'm in some pain." So she's hurting, but she survived. She's well. She's just resting. I don't know if she'll be on tonight. If she comes on, wonderful. But if she doesn't, that's okay too. So she is good. We have a birthday to talk about, and it's coming up. Liv, do you want to go ahead and just tell?
Well, it's a week away.
Okay, then let's not do that.
Yeah.
Okay, good enough. All right, so now we've gotten all through the pleasantries. Let's go ahead and get the show going. And I apologize for the delay. It happens some folks, and we kind of knew this was going to happen. $10.80 from Stacy Snow. Thank you, Stacy. Let's start with something about Candace Owens. Amy. Oh, I know. Like, I've been eating her alive, and I'm not gonna stop because at this point she is she's a loon. She is absolutely
I really like her. It's so disappointing. Like I don't watch her anymore, but I really loved her before. So disappointing.
Are you guys are you familiar with Mengele, the German Nazi doctor who
Mengele, Dr. Mengele,
Did I say Mengele?
Yeah. That's it.
I think I'm cutting out. Mengele and all the things he did. Can you name something that he did? Can you think of something?
I believe one of his experiments were to change the eye color of children. It's one of them, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he do experiments on twins?
Yeah, do experiments on twins.
Yeah, the twins.
Injected chemicals into their eyes. Created artificial conjoined twins. We just lost Amy. There she is.
I don't know what's going on.
It's okay. It's just, dude. It's
Monday.
It's a Monday. Do you remember the last time you came back from vacation? It was the exact same way. I mean, identical to this. So we're in the twilight zone.
Yeah, he did some awful crap.
When new prisoners arrived, Mengele stood on the ramps and decided who would be sent directly to the gas chambers and who would be used for forced labor. He had a special interest in, like I said, in twins, experiments on pregnant women. And there's this whole thing that people are like, oh, well, there's lampshades made out of Jews' skin and all this other stuff. And people say this stuff isn't true. The collection of teeth and all this other stuff. And if you listen to the alt-right white nationalist basically the woke right, they're all like the Holocaust is completely fake. You ask them, did the Holocaust happen? They say yes now because they'll just look, it's like moon landings. They'll just look completely retarded when they say yes. So they say, yeah, it happened, but it wasn't even close to as many Jews as they say. Well, how many was it? Oh, I don't know, but it wasn't even close. Well, how do you know that? I don't. What I do know is it's a lie. So I can't stand. And then what they do is, what about free speech? So Jake Shields and Candace, they're going after Jordan Peterson. Now they're going after Alex Jones because he interrupted Nick Fuentes about talking about Jews. And he's like, enough, stop talking about Jews. Let's talk about something else. And they're like, oh, well, Alex Jones is a sellout. These people, like, as much as I was thinking we'll be in a civil war with the left, I think the right is going to go into it with these nationalist Nazi pukes. And we may not join up with the left, but I'll tell you what, we're going to kick their asses ourselves because I'm getting sick and tired of these fucking people. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Candace Owens, I'm going to keep exposing her. I've already exposed her on USS Liberty. I've already exposed her on World War II with Winston Churchill. And now she's saying Mangala is, are not real because it just sounds bizarre.
Yeah, you were listening to one of her videos. We were just waking up or something. I don't remember, in bed over the weekend. And I just heard her voice and it was like nails on a chalkboard now. And I was like, is that Candace Owens? And I was like, I can't even stand to listen to her now.
Yeah.
She's awful.
I just don't understand why anybody watches her. And it makes me sick. But the neo-Nazi crowd, or just the Jew haters or the white nationalists or whoever, they're watching her left and right and keeping her afloat. And go figure. Here is the video of her, just asking questions. She's just asking questions. Here it is.
On innocent.
Whoops. Here it is.
People. On innocent people. Candace, come on, that's the difference. They experimented on twins. I mean, some of the stories, by the way, sound completely absurd. I'm like, the idea that they just like cut a human up and then sewed them back together. Why would you do that? Literally, even if you're the most evil person in the world, that's a tremendous waste of time and supplies. Just slice a person in half and sew them together. That just sounds like bizarre propaganda.
It's really interesting, right? I mean, I think people probably would say the same thing about Tuskegee experiments and what we did to black people and giving them syphilis and gonorrhea and then still not curing them even after we had the cure. This is the U.S. government who did this. Want to take a look at COVID and the way we treated people? You want to take a look at what Europe did in the bubonic plague, which was actually infecting certain towns and regions to wipe out the peasants because it was spreading where the rats were. It was spreading where they were getting, infected in their food, and they decided to go ahead and just depopulate by saving the elites and wiping out some of these towns. If you think this didn't happen with Agent Orange, if you think it didn't happen with JP5 jet fuel burning with people overseas who are in the burn pits, why would you cut somebody in because you can't do it to people who are people you care about? And when you have an abundance of 6 million and another 5 million, and your job is to exterminate, they're going to die anyway, why not go ahead and try to experiment on them like you would rats and monkeys? Because that's what they called them. They called them vermin. They called them rats. Amy, your thoughts on this, then Olivia?
I did not see this. I stopped watching her, so I don't follow her as much as I used to. I will just throw it at her because she's a convert Catholic now. I don't know how far she is into her faith, but the Catholic religion is responsible, not the religion, the church, especially in the United States and Canada, is responsible for doing horrific things to children, especially Native Americans, Indigenous people. They did very similar things. I don't know of any evidence of them cutting people up and so on, but they did extremely horrifying things to these children, including abusing them, experimenting on them, and outright just murdering them and then throwing them into mass graves. So I just want to point that out to her. I don't know why she hates the Jews so much. I don't know. And why is she like a Mangala lover? That's weird. I don't know. The whole thing is weird.
Yeah. Well, when Ben broke her, I guess it was. Questions. Yeah, I'm just asking questions too. I can't wait for her to come out and say that the Ku Klux Klan was misunderstood. Because I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to shock the shit out of both of you because I'm going to show you one other video. And then if this doesn't sell everyone, that I've been telling everyone this for a year, that she's completely off her fucking rocker. And everyone's like, don't separate conservative. That woman's not a conservative. She is a self-loathing black woman. Like, she is going to come out and support the Klan soon. She'll have David Duke on her show. She's going to follow suit with what I'm telling you. I bet every one of you that David Duke will be on her show within a year.
I could see that after all this he's had on. Yeah, for sure. I could absolutely.
The Hodge twins just had David Duke on.
Oh,
they just had Dave. Yeah. So she'll follow suit. And they also had Nick Fuentes on.
I thought David Duke being part of the Klan, they don't like black people.
Oh, that's not the way. He's what, he's like the Robert Byrds. He's like the Catholics when they change their religion, when it just becomes unpopular. Gays are cool now. Bring them on in. Let's get a new pope, and then he's like, "Hey, man, peace, love, dope. Let's bring them all in." That's what David Duke is. He's like, it's not that I don't like black people. It's like the culture doesn't need to mix with whites. Oh, well, that's so much better.
Oh, so much better.
Yeah, it didn't sound good until you said it that way. Here's Candace Owens, and I have another one to show you. This one's going to make you just cringe, but then this last one, you guys are going to shit. So and I'm letting you talk about this because this is all about you.
Trump administration is fighting against free speech in America. And that is very sad for me to say and to report as someone who has been a supporter of Donald Trump. We cannot allow our rights to be infringed upon. And if you think it's going to stop with college campuses, you're out of your mind. So you better buck up and root for Harvard University in this fight. You better hope that they defeat the Trump administration and this absurd definition. They even include parts of the Bible. They're like, you can't say that the Jews had anything to do with Christ, killing Christ, which is, what that is? It's not anti-Semitism. It's anti-Catholic.
So this whole thing, Christ is King, is being espoused by taking a passage of the Bible and turning it into what people say is an anti-Semitic trope. Here's the cool thing. This is where I love the fact that my faith in God has nothing to do with religion. This is where I'm like, yeah, I don't go to church and I don't owe anyone anything. I don't owe the Orthodox. I don't owe the Jews. I don't owe the Catholics. I don't owe the Baptists. You all can take a flying off a short cliff, okay? Because I'm just going to have my faith in God. And you guys can fight these holy wars. Because you know what? We've been doing it for freaking 3,500 years, and I just don't want to get involved. I don't care. Israel has a right to survive. Okay. And countries have the right to the sovereignty. Hamas is not a country. Gaza is not a country. I don't care. I just don't care. This is the last one. And then it's, ladies, it's all you. Cause I don't even know what you're going to say, but you're going to think that this is AI. In fact, I'm positive you're going to say there's no way that she did this. Hold on. When I heard this, I couldn't even begin to believe it. Okay, here it is. All right. Good luck. All right. Olivia, you get to go first.
Okay.
I was a big believer that Harvey Weinstein was guilty. I was like a big believer because I was like, there's no way he's not. There's way too many people speaking out. And then I finally got into the case and I was like, this is insane. Harvey Weinstein was just hung on the Me Too movement.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah. I've been speaking to Harvey Weinstein for 2 years.
Come on.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. It is like you want to go down a freaking rabbit hole. But this is what they do. Movements get really big and then they find someone to hang. And Harvey Weinstein was an easy person to hang because he was immoral. He was running the peninsula like it was a brothel, women who were sleeping with him. There's no question.
Yeah, Amanda Robinson, I would love if she called in. She got completely just plowed on the abortion debate she had with me. This woman keeps coming in and she keeps trying. It's kind of like after, you get beat up and pummeled and you come out of the hospital and you can still walk. So you go up and you start a fight with that person again and they smash you in the nose one more time. So you go back in. She keeps coming back and now she's going to say, oh, well, you want to beat women. I'll make an exception. Right. Kind of do now.
That he was.
Right, I see what you're saying.
Oh yeah,
scumbag.
You need some nuance here.
I got it.
He didn't a girl, but
Got it,
you
but
know,
he's a scumbag.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
no.
because I mean, he's a legendary scumbag.
I mean, like he was sleeping with everyone. Everyone who wanted to have a part was throwing themselves at him. But that's the point. He had the power, and they wanted roles, and they slept with him. But the media not telling us, because nobody even knows, because there were so many women who spoke out, like who actually put him in prison? What was the case? What was the story? And I went back after I spoke to him, and I was like, he's got to be guilty of something. And it blew my mind, like how much the media can make you think you're getting information when actually you're getting nothing. You're getting nothing. They just like inundate you. This woman spoke out and she hates Harvey and he said he grabbed her butt and she said blah, blah, blah. None of these people brought this into the courtroom. They were just saying this at the same time. And the ones that brought it into the courtroom, they were getting their cases dismissed for very valid reasons because they couldn't describe his penis, which is unique and one of a kind because he had gangrene and he had his balls removed. So they were all saying he made me fondle his balls. But Harvey Weinstein doesn't have balls. So one by one, these women just got plucked out of the courtroom because they couldn't describe the fact. They were describing him, it didn't exist. He got gangrene in the 90s, which ended up being a lifesaver for him in the courtroom when all these women just wanted money.
What?
The story is nuts. Or no nuts.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my God.
No, it's insane. It's insane. You have to watch my Harvey series that we just started. And then you have the only 3 girls wound up putting him away, right? For 26 years. You look at the cases, it's no nuts. It's no nuts. Literally, you're telling me he raped you and then you had a 5-year consensual affair with him and you took your mom to meet him. I'm reading these emails and I'm going, what is this? What is the court? Like, is it just everything a banana report? Is this all about social justice and not real justice? And I say this as someone who has said to Harvey multiple times, listen, I'll tell you, I think you're a bad person. Wouldn't want you to be I told him, I wouldn't want you to be my husband. I think you're immoral. I think you put yourself in the circumstance to even let this happen because you were cheating on your wife, right? And you definitely abused your power. There's no question. Like if you have me on the jury and you're like, did this man abuse his power? I'd be like, absolutely.
Right. But is he a rapist?
We stop at rapist. We stop at rapist. And that is crazy that his children have to grow up thinking that their father was a rapist.
Okay. So I'm just going to give you some facts and then discuss amongst yourself because I'm done saying that this woman is nuts because she is absolutely knuckin' futz. Okay.
Off her rocker.
She is off her rocker. 80 women came forward. I took some notes for you. In New York in 2020, he was found guilty of rape in the 3rd degree and criminal sexual assault and sentenced to 23 years in prison. In Los Angeles, 2022, he was convicted of 3 counts of rape and sexual assault against other women and sentenced to an additional 16 years. Okay? So he threatened, blackmailed, blacklisted women who refused him, promised roles, career development, quid pro quo, all of that. And I don't have any empathy for the women who traded their career for sex. Good for you. It's been happening since the dawn of time. But rape is a different thing. 80 women publicly accused him of sexual harassment, assault, or rape. They happened all the way from 1970 to 2010. Here's the problem. Most of those, why they weren't convictions, is statute of limitations had run out. And unlike Democrats, we don't go ahead and roll over statute of limitations and increase misdemeanors into felonies, but these most assuredly were felonies. There was a lack of evidence, physical evidence, because in 1970 to 1990, rape kits and collection of evidence was done very differently. In fact, DNA really didn't start becoming around until about 1982, and it was still considered like Wiccan science and witches and witchcraft. It wasn't even by jurors listening to it from a point that it was scientific fact. Victim behavior assault, legal strategy. The prosecutors dropped the other cases and the accusations, not because he didn't have any balls or he had gangrene. They did it because they felt that the cases weren't strong enough and would delay and also drain people from focusing on the cases where they knew they were open and shut and they could go ahead and crush them. Settlement agreements were abundant. And we're talking, we don't even know how many settlement agreements that he went ahead and closed. As far as his gangrene and nuts and all that other stuff, this is her loony absolute crap that I don't even know what to say. This woman is certifiable. She is not only nuts, she's dangerous. Olivia, I'm done. There it is.
She's definitely off her rocker. If what she says is true about him getting gangrene and his balls having to be taken off, they do have implants.
True.
It's I
we have sex and my balls have been in your purse since we got married.
That's true. But I know for a fact they've got implants. So if he had to get them removed, I'm pretty sure he got implants. So, she is just absolutely insane. The way she is defending him makes me think that she's his side hustle or something, or maybe they're pen pals while he's in jail. And I don't know, man. She is. I don't even know what she's thinking anymore. She's just completely just gone. It's kind of whatever. It almost sounds like she listens to her young children, her toddlers talk throughout the day. And she just kind of was like, okay, this kid said this and this kid said this, and I'm just going to mix it together. And
No,
that's
she
my
just
show
grifts
for
off
the
Jake
day.
Shields and Stu Peters and all these
It's-
other guys and just grifts off them. And because of her platform, she just repeats what they say. By the way, the gangrene was never used in the trial as a defense in any way, shape, or form. What they did is they talk about his frailty because he had a heart condition. He was on oxygen. They also said, listen, our client's gone through tremendous hardships, including gangrene. They never said anything about his testicles. They never used it as a defense that he couldn't have raped women because he didn't have a pair of balls. All of this is a lie. She's just lying. Everything she says is a lie. This woman just lies. Amy?
Yes.
I'm just going to ask questions like Candace does because I just have questions. Because Harvey Weinstein, as far as I am aware of, is a Jewish person and he's extremely powerful in Hollywood and everywhere is powerful. I did not follow his trial, so I can't really speak to that at all. I did not care, or I just did not follow it, so I don't know anything that you guys are even talking about, to be perfectly honest. But why is she defending one of the most powerful Jews when she's been calling, hatred towards the Jews? I'm just asking questions. There's some kind of thread there that I don't really know. I'm not on that level, but I'm just asking questions.
Good question. Jews harbor pedophiles,
Yeah.
but Harvey Weinstein is innocent.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's some kind of underlying purpose to her defending him that we just don't know yet.
I know what it is.
Asking questions.
I know what it is. She's absolutely 100% batshit crazy. That's what it is.
Or he's helping her with her career. I mean, she was fired from Daily Wire and started this new platform. And as soon as she starts this new platform, she's in his pocket. It's interesting. She hates Jews, but she's advocating for this one particular Jew. It's interesting. I don't know what's going on. I'm just asking
questions.
The questions. Yeah, I don't know.
I posted this on her page, and I cannot believe the amount of hate I got. I am really upset by the way people were treating me. I'm very, very much offended. But this is what I posted. Take a look.
It's the Jews, yeah.
And people were very mad at me for posting this and saying that I'm a Zionist and I believe that little children should be killed. All these things. And I'm just listening to this going, okay, It's amazing. If you disagree with anybody, so now they're going after Jordan Peterson. He's a Jew. And does it
Christian? I don't know.
Peterson? No, he's like,
yeah,
I don't think he's Christian.
I have no idea.
Are you sure? Because
I don't know. He's never talked about what faith he follows, and from what I can tell, he talks about
maybe he is, but my understanding
Old Testament a lot.
Well, he talks about religion because he's educated.
Yes.
But my understanding was that they were going after him because he was Jewish or he was protecting Jews. I
mean, I feel like most Christians do protect the Jewish people, and I will stand by the Christ is King thing because I am Catholic, and that is like a thing we say, but I don't think that we say it in the same way, and there can be malice behind it, and I can't speak to what she was saying, but I'm just saying.
New kind of Christian.
It
is what Jordan Peterson is, but he has been coming out extremely protective of Judaism, the Old Testament, et cetera, et cetera. So good catch. Thank you for doing that. But the fact that is, then you have to look at the common denominator, and the common denominator is that he backs up the Jews and defends the Jews. So therefore now he is tainted goods. And if anyone supports Jews, you're a Zionist. You're a Jew lover. And that's the way they are. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you've said. And now Donald Trump is the same way. Donald Trump is a Zionist. Donald Trump is no longer American first. He's Israel first. But if you're going to defend Harvey Weinstein, if you're going to defend Adolf Hitler, if you're going to go ahead and condemn Winston Churchill, if you're going to go ahead and say the Holocaust isn't real and that, the Rothschilds own all of the world and the Jews own everything and they are evil and the Talmud and they're eating children in subways in New York, you people are ridiculously stupid. And I hate to say this, but truly, we need to thin out the population. I'm sorry. I believe that there are a group of people who are too dumb to survive in this society. And the toxicity that comes around, the information that comes around, these people are dangerous. And they are going to start some form of conflict. And we got to see it with BLM, we got to see it with the riots, we got to see it with J6. There is a group of people here who really are too dumb to have the power of radicalization. And if you take a look at Muslim influences, I understand freedom of speech. You know what? This isn't a speech issue. Okay? People who want to harm others based upon their race, color, sexual disposition, religion, whatever, they are a detriment to society. They are terrorists to the Constitution. They're terrorists to this country. And it's like sitting here and seeing redcoats literally marching on New Haven, and you're like, no, you know what? Let's just let them have their speech. Well, they have muskets and cannons. They're literally burning everything behind them. Yeah, but they're just protesting. Never in history would anyone allow this type of shit to go on under the guise of free speech. Liv, any thoughts on this? Amy, any thoughts on this?
I don't understand why she has gone off the deep end. It just blows my mind. She used to be she was an inspiration to the right. Yeah. She seemed very intelligent and the way she presented herself and her talking points, she was very engaging and it was fun to listen to her. I really enjoyed watching her. I don't know what has happened to her. She is not the same Candace Owens of 2015 and 2016 for sure. She is not that person. I don't know who she is anymore, but she's definitely not somebody I ever want to listen to ever.
I'm curious to know who her publicist is because she was on Theo Vaughn's podcast. She was on Tim Dillon's podcast. Two people who I listened to, and I'm behind, so it's not that I'm avoiding just those shows. I just haven't had the time to catch up. I don't listen to them every day like I do other podcasts, but
right.
It's again, I'm just asking questions. It's curious to me that she's having all this backlash. She's going on these podcasts of these comedians who are pretty centrist for the most part, conservative centrist, I would gather, but it's all curious. I just have a lot of questions. I feel like I should start listening to her podcast again, honestly, just to
I watch
figure it out.
I watch a couple minutes every single day until I can't stomach anymore because one of her biggest sayings is do your work. Lady, I've been saying ask the why for a long time before your podcast was big with the Daily Wire. I've been saying ask the why. And I love your new Friend shirt, by the way, which you took from our show, because there's no effing way that you did it 7 days. So
that's right.
You're a disgrace for saying do your homework. You're a disgrace. You haven't done your homework at all. I listened to your USS Liberty and your revisionist history about Winston Churchill. And listen, I'm not a fan of the English. I despise the English. And if you're going to hate the English, I completely understand. But your entire thought process that Hitler was just a misunderstood Austrian who, didn't have the food and the space to save Jews, so he killed them mercifully. You're a moron. And that Winston Churchill started the war. But nobody forced the Germans to blitzkrieg through France. Nobody did it in 72 hours. Nobody did it while most of the Northern and Western European armies were up north fighting another deflect conflict. You guys pushed through France. You're the one that went ahead and took over villages. You're the one that killed anyone in your way that was any resistance, and we're going to push into Poland. You're the one that rounded up anyone who opposed the Third Reich. You guys had your target, you had the group of people, and not only was your focus to alienate the Jews, but you killed them and murdered them because of the push of the German people. Because you had turned them into the enemy, and you had this lust, and you were salivating and got your entire populace to hate the Jews, that when it came down to you rounding them up, they demanded their blood, and you did it. So do I believe Hitler's number one goal was to eradicate and eliminate Jews and pile up their body and use Cyclone beat? No, I don't. I don't think that was his initial focus. His initial focus was to drive Jews out of power and alienate them from society. But once you start blaming everything you went through, why cousins and uncles and sons were killed in World War I, and blame it on a group of people, they're calling for their blood. And it's a very dangerous thing to do, and it got out of control, and 11 million people died because of it. But of course, he's alive in South America, and this is all a bunch of jokes. Never happened. Jeez. Okay, Bobby Richardson donated $51.99. $62.79 is our total. Yeah, thank you so much, Bobby. We appreciate it. Anyway, I will continue to talk about Candace until hopefully she fades out. This movement will have to die. This red pill woke movement from the right that is just as bad as the left, canceling anyone who has anything nice to say about Jews. I got called a Jew today for no reason. And why? Because I believe that a country should be able to defend itself against attacks and respect its border. I'm sorry. I believe the same thing about the United States. I believe the same thing about everybody. Just doesn't make any sense. Go ahead, Ames. Did you have something else?
I was just going to add that you are Jewish, correct?
I've got it. Okay, it depends. Are we talking about from a religious standpoint, or are we talking about blood?
Oh, your blood. I mean, I considered...
But
most Jewish people consider like blood. Like you can convert to Judaism, but most Jews are like from bloodlines. So
yeah, but I'm also Greek Orthodox too. I've got more Greek in me than Jewish blood. I got Jewish blood in me. I got Greek blood in me. Irish, Scotch, Dutch, Welsh, Swedish, Norwegian, French, German. Greek, German. A lot of German. The two biggest are German and Greek. So yeah, but I've also got African American. Yeah, I hate Jews. Because I'm German. I got African American blood in me too. My great had like 96 slaves, and they did some boning. There's a lot of history in my life. I'm telling you. Leroy has African American blood in him too, and he's like, well, I'm black, but he's also Persian, which means he's Iranian. So he's a
Persian.
Yeah, he's a vest clacker. Yeah, he wants to kill everybody. He's a radical. Look at him.
I have I think is it South Pacific or North? I have some kind of Pacific Islander blood in mine. Like that's like my main one. I'm like, that is not true at all. I fry in this.
Liv has a lot of German in her, but as far as her bloodlines, I don't know. Yeah. Where do you live?
I don't know. I know I'm
hot.
Yeah, Mexican. I know I've got some Swedish and I think Scottish, Irish. I have no idea. That's why I want to do the blood thing. But I'm sure there's some Spanish. I'm sure there's some Spanish descendants in there, considering what my Mexican grandmother looked like. So
yeah, she was a hoe.
No, she wasn't a hoe.
Hinojosa.
She was
Hinojosa.
Yes, her name was Hinojosa.
So she's hoe. It's in her name. God, you're gross. How would you think about that about your grandmother? Let's go to a new topic.
It's spelled differently than you're thinking.
I think we need a sponsor.
Wait,
for that. We need to get a sponsor. We need someone to sponsor us so we can get our bloodlines done and then do a reveal on the show.
You know what? Awesome. If we hit the 20K, That'll be a part of it, and we'll do a reveal on the show. Deal?
Yeah, I would love
This
to.
just came out for Fox. It just dropped right now. It's a new Fox commercial. Take a look.
This is a new beginning.
Where common sense
is our common ground.
We're telling your story.
is the most important story.
And we're not afraid to tell it.
Where American values unite us.
And don't divide us.
This is a time to come together.
For you.
For me.
For all.
For all.
For all.
For all.
For all.
For all America.
For all America.
As we steal the Don't Unfriend Me show's ideas. So what do we think about that? I mean, is Fox with a new branding commercial? Or they... First of all, it's very well shot. The cinematography is amazing. It's a Sony red lens. I can tell it's beautiful. It's one of my favorite lenses of all time. It's got the greatest bokeh in the world, and it offers like Amy's camera is Sony. I can tell right now, Carl Zeiss lens. See how it's got that little golden hue to it. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's a great lens. In fact, when we upgrade, we're moving to Sony cameras. So, but anyway, what do you think? You guys like the messaging? Do you think Fox is going to get off the schneid and actually start telling a lot more truth, or are they just going to continue to do what they're always doing because really there's no competition for them?
I mean, yeah, you can have all the great promotional spots of commercials, but unless you actually change, I mean, it just came out, so it's to be determined. You got to see where they go from here, or but.
Ames, do you listen to Fox anymore?
I do. Well, not so much like Fox News. I love Jesse Waters and I love Greg Gutfeld and The Five. So I watch those three shows pretty religiously. I don't know. I want to love Fox News more than I do. I love Judge Janine. Like I
like The Five. I watch The Five and Dana Perino every morning. That's it.
I love The Five, and I love Greg Gutfeld, and he looks really like Trumpy in that commercial, though, very orange.
Well, that's the lens, and that's the filter and the lens. They tried to do like the golden age of America. That's the symbolism they're trying to pull in. Just FYI, and you know what? It'll be very impactful. But man, they're getting old. That's one thing I noticed.
Old. And he just had a child, and Kat Temp just had her first baby.
Thank God she's okay.
I know, right? Oh my gosh. I have a love-hate relationship with her.
Well, she's a libertarian, so she frustrates the shit out of me, but so does Leroy, and I love him.
Yes. I'm rooting for her and her family, and I hope the best for her and her baby, and I'm so grateful that she's doing well. And same with Greg Gutfeld and his wife and everyone. So I think they're changing a lot because people are having children, and it changes you. It just changes your soul. So I think that Fox is developing in this new side, which I think remains to be seen how it's going to go, which way it's going to fall. But I'm hopeful. I'll just say that because I like a lot of people on Fox.
Mine is more Greg Gutfeld and more Brett Baer and Dana Perino and less Sean Hannity and Laura Ingraham.
Yes.
I can't listen. I used to love Laura Ingraham, but
the Ingraham angle.
You know what? And I still do. She has a good relationship with Donald Trump. She has no problem pushing on him, and she does. But Sean drives me crazy. Like I can't listen to him. Lowest black unemployment. Just every night.
Sean Hannity. I'm with you.
Yeah. It is. He's just so Ken doll. And he actually is a really nice guy in his radio show. And I've heard great things about him when he's not on Fox.
Yeah,
he's a dick on Fox.
I'm curious with that commercial. Did they actually travel to those places, or is that green screen?
Some of it looked like green screen to me. Like I'm serious. Like it absolutely looked like. And to get some F-14s flying over on an aircraft carrier, I'm a little. Why are they flying 14s? I don't know. It could be. I'd have to look at it and zoom in. I just literally saw it. So, ladies, this is for you. You're sitting down at the table, and a server comes up, and they say, "Hi to you, ma'am. What can I get you to drink?" You're like, "Well, I'll take a water and an almond." And they're like, "Okay, and sweetheart, what about you with your husband?" What do you think about that after this?
The Dumb Show is built on real conversations.
Yeah, I like Harris Faulkner,
raw,
too.
unfiltered, and fearless. Big Tech didn't like that. Facebook pulled our funding, tried to shut us down. But for over a year, you, our incredible viewers, have kept us going. Your support, your donations, your time, it all matters. Most of you spend 10 plus hours a week with us. Compare that to Netflix, maybe 5 hours a month. We believe we're worth that time, and we hope you do too. But listen, we don't want giving to feel like a burden. We want it to feel good. So take a second to ensure you're in a good spot. If you're in a place to give, that will be amazing. If not, just liking and sharing helps more than you know. Visit thedumbshow.com/donate. Whether it's PayPal, Venmo, or mail, every bit helps to keep us going. Dumb Nation, we appreciate you more than words can say.
$62.79 is our total. $72.79, $10 from Joanne Townsend. Joanne, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for donating. The people are at the top are people who have given the most. And these are the last 20 people to donate, and that constantly updates, and we feel that they deserve that recognition. So thank you so much. Your lights are bright. And here is what I was talking about. First of all, 2517. Where did you take him? Applebee's?
Maybe like the local gas station now or something. Because seriously, you can't get a meal for $25.17.
Yeah, this is like two
that
bento
requires
boxes.
A waiter.
There's two bento boxes
Exactly.
at Starbucks. That's what we paid for, like two horrible bento boxes when we were getting our photo shoot.
Coffee or something.
Yeah, it was like
pretty
$40.
bad.
You had a tea. That's right. You had a. Okay, watch this. Whoops. So as she fills that out, 2517. Don't call my husband sweetheart. In quotes, $25.17 with a little heart. Okay, your thoughts.
I was a server.
Will Kane is good. I like Will Kane.
Hi, Mel. Mel is here.
Hi, Mel. Did you type that with your left hand or your nose?
Oh, she's
Her
talking.
toes. Her toe.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I've been a server before.
You have.
And I don't remember ever calling maybe little ones like kids, I would call the little kids with family like sweetheart or something, or sweetie or honey, but I never gave any nicknames like that to just random people. I had regulars that would come in like every day, and I'd see them every day, and we all had nicknames for each other, but it was never just anyone it was the first time I was ever seeing him. I would never ever call anyone that. I would, ma'am, sir.
So would you stiff her on the tip?
I don't think I would stiff her on the tip. I think as opposed to being passive aggressive and writing it on the tip line, I might say something. Now, if she would have called me honey and you sweetheart, I'd be like, okay, that's just her. That's her style. She's calling other tables. I would have probably listened to the other tables and how she talked to the other tables. And if she was calling other people sweetheart, honey, I'd be like, okay, then that's just her deal. And that's what her shtick is. And she does it, and whatever. Everyone's got their own thing. But if it was specifically aimed at you, yeah, I might say something.
Okay.
And I don't think I would be afraid to just say, hey, please don't call my husband that.
You know what I would say? I'd be like, no problem, pumpkin tits.
That's true. You would take care of it for me. I wouldn't have to say anything.
If someone calls me sweetheart, I've done it. I've just said, okay,
Yes, you
pumpkin
have.
tits. And they're like, what? What did you just say to me? I said, don't call me sweetheart. My mom and my wife call me sweetheart. And my mom doesn't talk to me anymore, so don't you call me sweetheart. Why are you calling me sweetheart? What the fuck's wrong with you? Amy, I don't know. Did you care? I mean,
No, I don't care at all. I would not care at all as long as we get good service and our food is good. I'm just don't. And if I'm with my children, you're treating my children kindly. Like I don't.
Wow.
I just don't
how
care.
shallow.
Sorry.
How shallow of you. No, seriously.
No.
God,
I'll tip them too, male
I
or
couldn't-
female, because I think more men would hit on Jason than women.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, is your gay husband get called sweetheart by any guys?
Yes. I mean, I feel like he does get hit on a lot, and I don't. It's bothered me, I think, 2 times in our relationship. That's it. Because it was like drunken, crazy people, but like Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just kidding, by the way. I have never called a waitress pumpkin tits when they call me sweetheart. I get sweetie and honey all the time. When I was at the photo shoot, the lady, what was her name?
The one who was doing your makeup?
Yeah.
I don't remember her name.
Maureen. Yeah. When I walked in, Maureen, she's like, I was like, hi, how are you? She's like, I'm fine. She's like, oh, look at this tall drink of water. Sit down. And I wasn't like, listen, lady. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, you're my favorite person. Who cares? You know what? You're right. Some people are like, this is a Southern thing. It is. My grandma Ethel used to say sweetie and pumpkin to everybody, and who cares? But there are people out there who use it the wrong way. Like on Facebook, they'll call me, they'll be like, okay, you know, sweetheart, you know, and they're doing the like, I'll pray for you thing. And then I absolutely call them pumpkin tits. I'll just say something completely stupid just to be like, well, you can get to call me, then I'm going to call you that too. But who cares? Phone? What about the phone?
I don't know.
Okay, I opened Microsoft Teams. Phone's on. Sorry, phone is on. I just don't care. You know what? And I'm certainly not going to stiff a waitress whose life already sucks and make it completely worse. Do you guys know who Bill Belichick is?
Yes.
New England Patriots guy?
Yes.
He has a girlfriend, and her name is Jordan Hudson. And she is, take a guess.
I'm going to say she is 45 years younger than him.
How old is he?
That's not what I asked you. How old is she is what I said.
26.
James Smith, cut him. Cut James Smith out of here. That's not you, James. And anybody who does this in a photo, you're gay. James. Jimmy, you're gay. You take it up. You take it up the butt. He does. He totally, look at this. He totally takes it in the shooter. It's okay. It's okay, buddy. We appreciate you. Ban him. What did you say? 21? You're wrong.
21.
Amy, how old?
I said 26.
You're close.
25.
You're warmer, Olivia.
24.
That's right. 24 years old. They had an interview on, this is weird. It was on CBS. She interrupted. She had to be in the room, and she had full editing rights to the questions asked and interrupted. Well, somebody get James Smith, please. Please.
I think they already got him.
Good. Here is, first of all.
Whoa, Belichick. Yeah. I think you can afford a shirt without holes in it. Just a thought.
Totally.
No, he wears like the sleeveless hoodies.
Yeah, but this is totally ridiculous.
I think he's gone off the deep end. I think he misses Tom Brady a little too much. He's gone a little crazy without Brady.
This is like him and Candace Owens need to have a love child.
Yeah, I think he's been crazy for like 25 years. I love him for his craziness. He just wears the most ridiculous outfits, and I love it. I'm here for it. I love it.
Yeah, well, listen to this. Watch this. I mean, dude, this stare doesn't get any better when we play. If it tells you anything.
Make sure that's.
Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
You have Jordan right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship.
I'm not. This is the first I've heard of it.
They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it.
Dude, that is some perfect hair, bro. Perfect. Like, I wish I could pull that off. That is gorgeous.
How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No.
No.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on, though Hudson has recently posted about it on Instagram.
You joined InstaFace, as you put it. I love that. There's some great pictures of you and Jordan, where you're a fisherman and she's a mermaid. Charming. It's a different side of you. What's the reaction been like?
Seems a little fishy to me.
What's it been like?
To have these different sort of photos. There's another one where you're doing, I know you're not into meditation or yoga.
Why is he being a bass about this?
Yoga or Pilates. You're balancing Jordan on your feet. She's doing kind of the Titanic pose.
Yeah, so I'm on some of those social media platforms, but I honestly don't.
Like, Bill, blink twice if you need help. And this chick she like literally gives him horse tranquilizers for breakfast every morning. He doesn't even know what are you talking about? When did I do what? I don't even know what you're saying.
Follow him.
What he does follow isn't clicks or views, but touchdowns and above all, wins.
You do seem like you're having a lot more fun these days than you were in other chapters of your life, let's say.
I enjoy football. I enjoy the whole process of it. It's hard to win, and it's hard to beat other good coaches, good teams. I appreciate the grind. I appreciate the competition. But coaching's fun, and honestly, I feel like I haven't worked a day in my life.
Okay. Listen, this is all. Everyone's like, why is this news, Matt? Why are we watching this? Because this is the downfall of society.
I think she's trying to give him a heart attack so she can take his money.
That is exactly.
She is a gold digging biatch.
Is there a prenup? Because I just don't.
Are they married?
Listen, the guy was one of the. I think it's his girlfriend, but even then, where he lives, I believe there's common law that you still have to cover yourself. I think after 6 months of living with somebody, you're legally common law married. And there are Colorado is one of them.
Yeah, Colorado is one of them.
Yeah, so he's got to protect himself. But listen, I'm covering this just because who thinks this is real? Like, imagine having to. That shirt looks like it smells like a foot. I can't imagine the rest of it.
Can I chime in about this just for 1 second? I had this conversation with my parents over our vacation.
Okay.
Because elder abuse is a real thing, and it's something I get concerned about, and I feel like this is happening in this situation. I don't know where his mental state is, but this
I
girl,
do. He look at her. He's like, dude, I'm going to get up in that.
And do you
Apparently
think
they're married and have a baby.
Yeah. No. Yeah, dude. So he's like robbing the punani.
Oh, he is.
He's
fudged.
73 years old, man. He was born in 1952.
She is in it for the money. Which means if he was married when he was younger at a decent age and had kids, then she's young. She's like grandkids' ages.
Is this, listen, I understand 18 is legal, but is this not like, isn't this a little sick? Yeah, it's gross. What can you possibly see in a 24-year-old girl? Now, okay, I just want to be completely transparent, okay? Just really want to be honest here. Like if Mira Sorvino hit me up right now at 24, goodbye, Liv. If Sandra Bullock knocked on the door at 24, I would be like, yes. But you're 74 years old. At 74 years old, I'd be like, hey, where's Ethan? Get him. Ethan, there's a hottie at the front door. How do I even have any lead in my pencil?
When was he born? What year?
52.
50. He's my dad's age. That'd be like dad coming over and saying, hey, meet my new wife. And I'm old enough to be her mom.
Well, that's okay. That's totally cool because we're not blood related. So that's totally fine. I'd be like, listen, when he kicks off, call me. Call me maybe. Hey, I just met you.
No, I would kill.
And this is crazy.
I would kill my parents.
Call me maybe.
It would never happen with my mom, but I would kill my dad.
What would I do with your, what?
I said, my mom would never.
Oh, your mom totally needs a good 24-year-old. I am totally down for that.
It would never happen. But
Jesus isn't available. Let's find the next guy who's available because your mom, she compares every guy to Jesus. So we need to can we take that down a little bit? Can we get up off the cross a little bit and find that guy? I want your mother to find someone, and I want to hear that laughter. I want her to be like, oh, Bob. I would love to have your mom do that, or oh, Robert.
I don't care what age. She just needs to find somebody.
I mean, I wouldn't even mind if we started hearing, when the house is rocking and it's the walls start thumping. We'll just leave. But oh my God, your mom's having sex downstairs. That's awesome. Let's go. But seriously, or talk to her on the camera. Tammy, we know what you're doing in there. You better be using protection.
Oh man,
$20 they're doing missionary.
Oh my gosh.
So I just think that I want your mom to find happiness and love, and I don't care if it's 24 or what. So if Bill's happy, that's all that matters. But Bill's gonna lose all his money. I hope those. Does he have kids from another marriage or something?
I don't know. She just seems gold diggerish. She's not in it for love. She's in it for control and money for sure. Oh. Just with seeing the few minutes of her. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
May 16th, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. One night only. The Dumb Show is hosting a night built on something real. No filters, no corporate sponsors, no gatekeepers. The call went out and the right people answered. Chris Tonto Peronto, Roseanne Barr, Laura Logan, and they're joined by T.S. Dixon, Damani Felder, Barry Morgenstein, Lisa Regina, Ryan Samuels, and Jason Shepard. Follow along at The Dumb Show and get all the details at thedumbshow.com. The race to 20K starts now. Be part of it.
I love my English guy. He does all of our audio, and I love him. Thank you, Kev. 1080. Tough night. 8359. Let me ask you a question, ladies.
Back from vacation, everybody.
Thanks a lot, Amy. Yeah, real nice. Did you guys have college? Yeah, we did like $475 when you were gone on average a night. So it's don't worry about it though. You're doing just fine. Yes. Moving on. So
I'm gonna start sleeping with Bill Belichick to make up for it.
Yeah, can you go sleep with him, please, and go borrow some money? So let me ask you a question. You go to college, and you take out a loan. What is the what is your requirement as far as payback?
Pay back that loan.
Okay, Amy.
I think it was forgiven under the Biden administration. Didn't he veto that and go above the judges and say like, no, you don't have to pay this back? I don't know. I didn't have student loans, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. Olivia and I had a credit card that went to collections in COVID that I wasn't aware of. The moment that they served us warrant papers, a warrant to pay, not like a warrant for your arrest, it's warrant papers. And they're like, we're suing you for like $6,700. And I'm like, why the fuck are you suing me for 60? So I called them up and they're like, well, you have a card in collections. I'm like, Olivia? I called Olivia and Olivia's like, yeah, we do. And I'm sorry, I told you. I said, okay, so why? COVID. Okay, fine. So we just got to fix it. You can't run away from these problems. Let's fix it. So, and then when I'm on there, I'm like, wait a second, this credit card number doesn't match the one that I've got in my wallet. Where's blah, 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 blah account? They're like, oh, well, that one's in collections too. I said, just pay it. Here we go. Let's get that paid. Let's get that taken care of. Let's, what can you do for me? And you pay your debt. I mean, it's not that hard. You took it on and you feel so much better after it's gone. You really do. And you got to be responsible. Olivia and I had eight whatever credit scores. And, we
COVID destroyed it.
Yeah. And we earned that and we had to go back and earn it again. So let's say you take out a loan for $800,000 or $200,000, $250,000 for college. Whose responsibility it is to make sure you get a good interest rate?
Yours.
And if you don't get a good interest rate, what's the option, Amy?
You can refinance it.
Yeah, you just don't go.
Consolidate your
maybe,
debt. Or
maybe
yeah,
you can't.
I mean, there's different options. Yeah.
Maybe you can't afford college. I mean, that very well could be an option. Here is
for a $250,000 college. Why don't you hit up a community college?
Right. Why don't you do what the American way? Sleep with Bill Belichick to get your college paid for.
Or Harvey Weinstein.
Or he's a good dude. I heard he's like he's got like this American makeover thing going on. Yeah. He's doing well. Write him in prison. Here is tortoiseshell glass. Why do all these women have tortoiseshell glasses?
Is that a tortoiseshell? It looks like a flag or something.
It does look like a flag.
It's tortoiseshell. It's tortoiseshell. Trust me.
My student loan interest rate is more than my mortgage interest rate. And I lied in my last video earlier. I said I had $248,000 worth of student loans. I don't. I have $258,000 worth of student loans. My principal of $242,640 with an interest thus far of $16,211. So earlier I did the math and it's $1,800 a month for the next 25 years on an income-driven repayment program. If I complete that, I will pay $540,000 worth of student loans where I only took out $242,000. Hardworking people are not asking for our loans to be forgiven. We are asking for reasonable interest rates. And yeah, I'm hyped up. Y'all don't see me make videos like this. This is not normal for me. But I've gotten to, who else would be advocating? Somebody has to be advocating for this, and it has to be the people that are impacted the most. Because it's not the people that don't understand it. They're like, yeah, make them pay their student loans yourself. We're not asking not to pay them. There might be some people, but I'm not one of the people. I'm one of the people that's like, hey, do you know what the student loan interest rate is? Do you know what it is? Okay. Think before you speak.
If you were smart enough to get into a college that cost you $250,000, because that's like Ivy League up there, you got to be somewhat intelligent. Maybe you should have read the fine print of your loan papers.
Yeah, like when we looked at our house, our house is like 1.2 million after the loan. I'm like, wait a second, this house is 630. If you do the full 30-year loan, you're going to pay a shit ton of interest.
Yeah, her student loan was more than our first house was. First house was 225. Here's the thing. Look at the loan. Try and get a fixed. Our mortgage is a 30-year fix, which means they can't touch our interest no matter what. It is fixed, period. But if you went into it, because I know there's the loans that you can go into it in the first 5 years, it's like a 1% interest. But if you don't pay it off in that 5 years, it jumps to like 15% or whatever. That's your stupid fault. Yeah. That is your stupid fault for getting a loan like that. Maybe you should have realized that you're probably not going to be able to start making those payments for at least another 6 or 7 years, because you've got to graduate and get that job and then be able to start your savings and get your feet out from underneath you. But it's not anyone's fault. Now, if she would have signed papers and she had an interest rate of 2.5%, and then because COVID, the banks have lost their asses and they just decided they're going to jack all these interest rates up just because they feel like it, they need to, because they need more money. Well, then she's got a bitch and she has a complaint. But if not, it's her fault. It's your own effing fault.
It's APR.
Claim bankruptcy then.
It's annual percentage rate. That's it. And if you only make the minimum payments and you don't make a balloon payment and drive it down, you're going to be competing with your interest all times. So this is why I try to tell Olivia, look at what you pay a month. If you pay $500 a month and you have a loan that's out for $15,000, it's almost better to give them the 15 so you can put away $500 extra a month. You just don't want to pay that interest. So like Olivia and I, after taxes, we're going to consolidate all of our bills and just pay them off. And as long as it adds to $1,000 extra a month, yes, it's going to take a little of our savings, but then we're going to be putting in, instead of $1,000 a month, we're putting in $3,200 a month. And you'll make it back quicker. And then once you go ahead and reach that plateau of making your money back, it's not like it goes away. It stays there. So you got to get rid of the credit cards. You got to get rid of interest. I'm sorry, but you're a nurse. Go on, create an OnlyFans account. They do very well on there. Nurses do very well, I've heard. Amy, your OnlyFans account, how do you do on that? Is it good?
I'm going to start selling socks, I think, next. So
that would be hot. Yeah, in Ziploc bags. I like it.
Yeah, summertime almost. So like I'm ready.
Ooh. So you know what? You should probably wear sandals. Sandals I've heard do really, really well. So you're going to have to spend a little bit more money in the long end, but you can charge more for the sandals, especially if you go with like a Birkenstock, something leather. I think that's pretty good. In red.
It's a good thought. I don't know. I mean, I'm in real estate. It's
my student loan interest rate.
Very transparent. You have to be very transparent. I know you want me to hurry up, so I will hurry up.
No, I don't. I was mad at this because it was talking over you, and I'm like, shit. I was like, I'm trying not to interrupt you.
Yeah, there are laws with real estate and mortgage companies. I don't know what the student loan laws are or any of those types of loans. I would imagine they're very similar. I've never had a student loan. I paid for my own college until I got an awesome boss who paid for my college for me. And I signed a contract with him to work for him.
Wow.
For them, as two bosses. And I worked for them forever.
Cool.
They were amazing people. I don't think that happens quite often, but
yeah, it sounds like socialism.
Right? But I worked there for a long time, and I loved my job, and I just thought they were the most amazing people ever. So I don't know what it's like to have student loans. I paid everything myself. My parents helped me when I was in high school, also going to college. They helped me then, and then I was on my own after that. So I had 2 jobs. I worked my ass off. I was, slinging cocktails at night, working a full-time job, and also carrying a full course load. So I don't know what it's like to have a student loan, but
if you did, you would take care of it though, right?
Yeah, I mean, we pay our bills, right? Even credit cards, like I'll rack them up, but I pay them off. I don't ever let them go because I'm terrified of having I don't want to pay interest on something that I'm like, this is dumb. I would
Right.
just use cash. So if I use my
Get rid of
credit
it.
card, I make sure to pay it off because I just don't want to have that loop. I have like anxiety about it though. So
If you don't have cash, you can't afford it. That's what my dad always said. And there was a time we didn't listen to him. But I mean, our lives turned around when we tore up every single credit card. And for about 15 years, all we did was cash. We didn't even have credit cards. We didn't do any credit, nothing. Car was paid off. And we learned how to manage. And there's times when, I mean, our card had $40,000, $50,000 on it. You know, we had credit card, a Chase card that had, you know, 40, 50 grand. And we would load it up, do our furniture, whatever, and just pay it off. And just let it hit one cycle of interest. Yes, we had to pay $300-$400 in interest, but that helps your credit. And then just pay the damn thing off. And if you do that, you'll be good. Here is a video, HOAs. They're the Third Reich.
Exactly.
Just a bunch of fun videos tonight. You know, nothing too heavy. We do have some heavy stuff coming, but we got to hurry because we got a game to watch. Folks, $83.59 on our donations. We are officially losing our ass tonight. So any help would be helpful because Amy is an anchor. Here it is.
Blind, and they do it in this Auburn.
The mandate from the Homeowners Association says residents must keep their garage doors open. Failure to comply can result in a $200 fine.
If we have to have this open from 8 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon, anybody can help themselves and steal your blind, and they do it in this Auburn Greens complex.
This is not safe.
Shally Ia keeps her garage door closed, fearing what might happen if it's left open all day.
This will just be an open door policy and saying, welcome, take what you want.
The mandate from the Homeowners Association
Amy,
says...
please explain this to me because this seems batshit crazy.
I have never encountered an HOA that requires you to leave your home unlocked. Like, I mean, that seems asinine. Can you crack it? I'd like to see the bylaws.
Is more than my.
Also, I don't know. Like HOAs have been under fire for many years. There's a ton of lawsuits happening currently right now. HOAs have lost many lawsuits in the recent past years. So I don't know how much this would even hold up. I would just, if I was a homeowner, I would say, go screw yourself. I'm not going to leave my house open for anyone to just come in ever. Like, no.
Well, you know, this is some stupid ass who's flexing, you know, a power grab, right?
Yeah. Why would an HOA require you to leave what is the point of having your garage door open? Aren't they all about curb appeal? That garage door open is not curb appeal. It makes it look bad.
I would put something appropriate there in my garage too. I would just put like giant.
Oh, I totally put blow up dolls.
Yeah.
I would put butcher's knives with a bunch of like corn syrup and blood and like stuff a dead hooker in my trunk of my car. And have her hand hanging out and just do all sorts of shit, you know? I mean, why not? Why not fuck with them?
That's ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous.
So we had one that looked like they would look at the cracks of the sidewalk, and if grass was growing out, you would get a citation. So this is what happened in January of 2018. If Amy's listening, and she's not, so take your time. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think she can hear you.
Okay.
She's just talking.
In January 2018, an HOA in Auburn, California, go figure. Fucking California. Specifically, the Summit neighborhood of Auburn Greens ordered residents to keep their garage doors open during the day. The HOA said the rule was meant to prevent people from illegally living in garages, which violates housing rules. Residents were told they had to keep their garage door open from 8 to 4 every day or face fines of $200 a day. As you can imagine, this caused a major backlash. Political or public outcry and media coverage were so intense that the HOA eventually backed down and rescinded the rule, and everybody on the HOA board was fired.
Good.
But this happened. And here I am just to say that I believe that when the Third Reich left Germany, they all worked at the HOA. I can't stand HOAs. In fact, I love pissing them off. And I hope they put a lien on my house. You know what? I really do. Because I'm not going to sell this son of a bitch. So I really don't care. I can't stand these people. They're like big government. They have no lives. These people are drunk with power, and they make up these stupid rules. Like somebody can literally park a effing RV in front of their house, but they get pissed because I have a dandelion coming out of the sidewalk. Any thoughts on these people, Olivia?
Oh, I do not like HOAs at all. The fact that is the dumbest reason for having to have a garage door open, because people can't live in your garage. Most people work during the day. So I would assume that they're only going to be there at night anyway. I mean, honestly, it is just a total power grab and absolutely ridiculous. And I would have told them they can shove it where the sun don't shine. I'll see you in court because I'm not leaving my garage door open. We've got a cat that goes in there. I'm not letting my cat escape again.
Yeah.
So yeah, they could shove it where the sun doesn't shine. Because seriously,
fine to me. U.S. Oh, did you have something to say? That I'm sorry, Amy.
Creative. I would just, if I was, and I'm not saying anyone should do these things at all because I'm a real estate agent, but if I wasn't, and I'm not giving advice, but if this happened in my neighborhood, I would move into the HOA leader's garage during the day. I would.
Oh, that would be awesome. And squat. Oh, it's beautiful. Just squat and like literally just use the refrigerator as a freaking toilet.
Yes. I would do everything I could to just live in their garage during the day from the whatever hours. That doesn't even sound legal. It sounds crazy.
That's so good. This is so liberal. Like this is just a liberal. This is just overreach. Like we pay HOA dues. They don't do anything. There's nothing that they do. They
mow the grass around the property.
The common areas.
They don't do any. I got a common area for them. It's you put 2 B's on my butt cheek and it spells Bob.
Yeah,
that's,
I don't know
my common area.
I don't know what
kiss my
we
ass.
pay it for. It's ridiculous, but whatever.
I can't stand them.
I know our trash is included in the HOA bill.
Oh, that's a great point.
So they
never
pay
mind.
that.
It's totally worth $1,000 we pay a year or whatever we pay.
That's all you pay a year. Okay, that's not bad.
It's
road
more than that.
maintenance and stuff.
How much is it, Liv?
$87 a month.
So it's more than
and
that.
it went up. It was like 61 when we first moved in.
They don't do anything, Amy. They don't do anything. Nothing.
Ours doesn't
Nothing.
either. We pay more than that. We don't have a pool. We don't have a clubhouse. We get nothing.
We don't either.
Remind me of the time that
we've got a park.
Pulled my rifle out on the HOA when they're on my property. That was fun. I almost shot a guy yesterday. It was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
So this is not a joke. No, seriously, this isn't a joke. So all of a sudden, Ash is outside and she is outside waiting for Ethan to come home. It's between 3:30 and 4:30. That's all I'll say because I'm not going to give specific times. But he's about to come home. So she's out there roaming and looking. And then all of a sudden I hear the alarm, bing, because you can't get on my property without telling me. And Olivia and I had talked about getting a power washer. Well, she's like, this guy's going to come like Saturday. I'm like, okay, great.
A power wash the house, not a power washer.
I think people got it.
I don't know when you say power washer.
Yes, a power washer is going to unbox itself and come and go outside the door. Yeah, it's great. Yep, a power washer was coming over, and I expected him to be there. And I was listening to him roll in. And anyway, instead, I got a Mexican guy. So I look, and there's a Mexican man like standing away from the stairs. And Ethan is walking. I see him on the camera walking up behind. And right before that, Ash just barks. And so I run up to him like, what? And she runs the door and starts pointing at the door because she saw the guy. And she's like warning us. I mean, that's the type of bark. It was like, hey, Dad, something's bad is here. So all of a sudden, the camera audio kicks in and he goes, are your parents home? And Ethan's like, yes, no, I'm not sure. He's like, oh, so you're alone? And I'm like, oh my God. So I run and I get the gun. And it's right, which basically, I don't run. I literally reach 3 feet to any position I am in my house and there's a gun. So I grab it and I open the door and Ethan's trying to scramble to open the door. He's keeping a side profile of this guy. And I get him behind me and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, and I flip out. And the guy's like, no, your wife Olivia sent me. And I'm like, okay. And anyway, he's like, I'm here to power wash and give you a quote. And I'm like, oh shit. So like, I had to make sure that this guy wasn't like PTS and freaking out. But he's like, I'm a father. I would have done the same thing. And oh my God, what did I say? And I'm like, exactly, dude. He's like, I don't speak good English. I'm like, yeah, you probably don't want to go to somebody, hey, are your parents home? And oh, you're all alone? That's just not, that's like, hey, have some candy and get in my van. So anyway, it was probably I overreacted, but it's my kid. What do you want me to do?
I have a question for you. Not being a smart ass, did you forget that you already told that story or was that just
I want to tell Amy.
Okay. Just making sure.
So I tell my kids every day, lie to survive. If your parent, you're like, lie. It's okay to lie to survive. If someone says your mom and dad home, yes, my mom's on a work call right now. My dad's in the garage. Shut the door.
Amy, Did I tell you the other story that I did? Oh my God. So I'm sitting at home and all of a sudden I'm sitting here and the dog barks and I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I get,
just, you were completely out of it last week and on cold medicine the whole week. I'm just making sure.
oh yeah, that cold medicine really messed me up.
I'm just making sure.
All right. Amy, have you ever had a power washer visit your house?
I was gonna say, do you guys so we own a power washer? Jason does ours, but if you need somebody, I have guys who will do it.
A soft power washing. This guy's going to charge very little. It was very reasonable. He's going to do the deck and do everything, the whole house. And I don't know if it'll reach and all that. Anyway, whatever. So here's the thing. Do you guys remember Representative Brittany Peterson, the one who, she's like, I'm bringing my baby on the floor.
I also mentioned, but I want to ask you what I missed here.
I can't find anyone in my trailer park to watch my kid.
Yeah.
Dude, this lady is, oh my God. Listen, this is kind of woman's night here. I feel like I've really picked some good videos for you guys to talk about. Here it is.
And I also mentioned, but I want to ask you what I missed here. The child tax credit, which would be something that families can benefit from every year instead of one time, would be a far better choice here. Obviously, funding Head Start, making sure the Department of Education and Title I funding is supported, maternal health clinics. There's so many ways, but what am I missing? You've thought about this a lot. That's front and center for you and your colleagues in terms of actually helping people have more kids if they want to have more kids.
Well, you hit it on all of the policies that we've really failed on in the United States. We are way behind the rest of the world in terms of our support for families. So if we want to make it so that people aren't worried about how they're going to be able to afford having a baby, let's talk about increasing access to childcare. That is one of the biggest hits. Right now I'm on the wait list. I don't have childcare until this summer, and I'm one of the lucky ones. I'm not in a childcare desert, and our family is able to afford it while so many are not. And this is when families are the most vulnerable because it's earlier on in their careers, and it's more expensive on average than college tuition. So when you think about that hit early on, and they're decimating the funding, like you've already talked about for Head Start. There's places throughout rural Colorado that I just visited where they said they're going to have to close their preschool program if they cut this funding, and they're taking away health care for 40% of pregnant women who rely on Medicaid to fund, to support their pregnancies, and the kids that rely on Medicaid for healthcare. They are making it more difficult every single day for families instead of actually making it so we feel like we can start families and that we'll be able to support them.
Does anyone actually believe that she's on a wait list?
No.
For daycare?
Something tells me she got a private nanny.
Come on.
The au pairs don't come in. They have like the au pairs, like her nanny she's on a wait list for. Au pairs are on like a cycle because they transfer to different. So I'm assuming that's what she's waiting for is an au pair.
Who gives a shit? You don't have a right to daycare. You have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The rest of it is on your dime, dude.
Can I tell you that if anyone needs childcare, just get an au pair, because seriously, I just found out because one of the other nannies that I go to stuff with during the week for the kids, she is from the Netherlands. And so she's an au pair. No idea how much she actually got paid. I make more than her in one day than she makes in a week.
So an Irish pair knocks on your door? An Irish pair? I don't understand. What do you an au pair?
So I will say this though about au pairs.
Does strawberry come up?
Au pair, whatever. But the fact, it's amazing how little they.
What is au pair?
An au pair is
wait, au pair?
AUPAIRE. I don't know how to spell it.
Yeah, it's basically it's somebody who is not a resident of the United States, and they register with a company and they come over and be a nanny.
I see.
And you can be in the United States and go to a different country. My cousin did that
like
in
if
France.
we wanted to get like an 18-year-old Japanese girl to come over here and watch Hayden and Ethan, we could do that for cheap.
I don't know. It's basically.
What's the number?
I was looking it up. But I was looking it up because I was like, there's no way that they can get away with paying you this little. Yeah, they do. Because the host families, all they have to do is include room and board. They don't have to supply a phone. They don't have to supply food. They don't have to, and transportation. But
and you get off like 2 days a week. They have to take can only work so many hours, and you're supposed to treat them as a family member.
45 hours a week max with 2
God, you have
weeks
it
paid
good.
off a year.
You have it good.
And what they get paid though, it's.
But they're here to go to college, so it's like a part-time job for them. They're here to go to school, so you're paying them essentially like a stipend so that they can go to the movies on the weekends with their friends. Like you're not paying them.
Do they live?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she lives with them. Yes.
Oh my God.
You're supposed to provide them transportation. I know tons of people with au pairs. We considered it at one point. I heard too many horror stories, so I put a kibosh on that. One of my good friends, her daughter was lost by an au pair. So
doesn't the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment kind of stop this type of shit?
Yeah, I don't know. But it's allowed. I mean, it's so like no, they're coming over on like a student visa. They come over on student visas and like work visas. They usually can only stay for 1 year with one family, unless they get special permissions. It's highly unlikely to do that though. And then they transfer to another company or another family rather, or another country. And yes, you're supposed to treat them like a family member though. Like you're supposed to take them on vacation with you. You're supposed to provide them family meals and include them in your family day-to-day life. They're not just like an
18-year-old will be graduating.
Wow. That's interesting. Like I was always thinking like foreign exchange student would be cool, but you'd probably get the 300-pound, 16-year-old pimple-faced dude, and I'd be like, no, or some dick dork, or some person who doesn't know how to shower, and I'd be like, can we trade this in for a different model, please? Because this person sucks. Yeah, I'm not into that. I hardly want the people living with me who live with me now in here. I don't want weird people. Here's a video of a guy who. This is insane. Oh, thank God. Melanie Marino, is that pushes? Wow, at 104.69, folks. Thank you, Melanie, for helping us out. Man. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Video on this kid who got suspended for simply talking about this.
Parker Jensen,
yes, sir,
is a senior at Towson High School.
Yes, sir.
In a few months, the 18-year-old will be graduating.
Yes, sir.
But he doesn't plan on attending college.
No, sir.
Instead,
I'm joining the Marine Corps, and patriotism has always been a big thing in mine.
And with that in mind, Jensen recently noticed something that...
See, the beginning of this fucked with me because I'm like, what the hell is going on? Whoever edited this video... He's answering other questions. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you're supposed to... Okay. Anyway. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Concerned him about his high school.
So I'm only in 2 classes, but both of my classes do not have American flags.
Which is a problem because Baltimore County School Board Policy 6307 and Maryland Education Code 7-105 require the American flag to be displayed in each classroom. If Towson High School has classrooms without a flag, that's a violation of state law and board policy.
If you say a Pledge of Allegiance and there's no flag, you're just saying words. It needs to mean something.
So in February, Jensen tells Project Baltimore, he went to Towson High School's vice principal who said he would look into the issue. In March, Jensen says he went back to his vice principal because his classrooms still did not have a flag. A few weeks later, with nothing being done, Jensen took his concerns to his principal's bosses.
As soon as you open up the door, publicly accessible.
On March 28th, Jensen withdrew from his class that day and went to the Baltimore County Board of Education building, asking to speak with someone about the missing flags.
Hi, can I help you? Hi, how are you doing? I was looking to speak to a supervisor of some sort that regulates Baltimore County Public Schools.
What did you think was going to happen?
I was hoping and I thought that someone would just come out, speak with me for 5 minutes, and then I'd be on my way.
But that did not happen.
I have a Towson High School lacrosse shirt on. I have my student ID.
Jensen waited for nearly an hour while recording.
I have every right to be here and recording. They are recording us at all times.
But an administrator never came out to speak with him.
3 cop cars.
Rather.
3 cop cars for a kid. All right, 4 cop... Damn, what the... Well, indeed. Sorry for my language. That's just crazy to me. You don't think that's a waste of resources, sir? No.
BCPS called the police on one of their own students for trespassing.
Yes, they're charging me with trespassing.
Oh, they are charging me with trespassing.
BCPS declined an interview with Fox 45 News, saying it cannot discuss specific student records or disciplinary action.
Cop
But
out.
the school system did state in an email regarding Towson High School, as of April 1st, flags have been installed in the classrooms that did not have them.
Well, it's important for me to have kids be able to express their patriotism.
Jensen's efforts got results, though he will not be in school for a while to see it for himself. On March 28th, while standing in that parking lot, BCPS immediately suspended this Marine hopeful for a week.
You're actually suspended from the school. He's to be removed from the property.
Suspended for disruptive behavior, refusing to cooperate with school rules, and failure to follow a direction.
I was very frustrated. I feel like what they did was unlawful. You know, we have the right to record government employees in the course of their duties, but just shines a bad light. What I believe I was doing was lawful, and I had a reason to be there. And the only reason why they would suspend me is because they know that they're in the wrong.
Jensen does not believe this incident will impact him joining the U.S. Marines, but he is taking legal action. The 18-year-old has hired an attorney to challenge his suspension and the trespassing charge, saying that what happened to him is unconstitutional. We have reached out to his attorneys. We hope to speak with them soon. We'll keep you posted. I'm Chris Pabst, and this is Project Baltimore.
Dude, Maryland's a shithole.
Oh my gosh. Go figure. It's in Maryland.
Amy, your thoughts on this?
You
it's your
grew
kid.
up there.
Yeah,
so.
it's your kid. And
I
what's
grew
wrong with
up
your
there.
What's wrong with your state?
Yeah, so I grew up there. The schools are it's so funny. I was just talking about how liberal Maryland is. It's so far left leaning. It's incredible that there is so much patriotism, though. I personally was very conservative in high school. Towson, in particular, not nowadays. When I lived there and I was in high school, it was more conservative than it is certainly now. Baltimore County, it's a disaster. I mean, look at Baltimore City as a freaking cesspool. It's just gross. I'm afraid to take my kids there. I would love to take them. We've gone, but now I'm like, this is too bad. I can't. It's just a gross place. Towson's just become it's sad. It used to be like this upscale, beautiful place with that's where you aspired to live, like with all the rich people, and they were their beautiful homes and the conservatism and not putting their liberal crap on you. And now I'm sure it's full of rainbow flags and Ukraine flags and no American
sure a
flags.
district judge is going to order the flags removed.
Yeah.
I'm sure any day now.
I like that masks were not required though. You didn't have to wear a mask.
Yeah, but that only took 3 years to go. Maryland was one of the last states to adopt the masks are optional, especially with their medical. Virginia still does it in some places too. Put on a mask. I said, I'm not fucking putting on a mask no matter what you say. I refuse.
Got into this.
I don't care what you say to me. I am not putting on a mask, and I'm not leaving. You have to have forcefully removed. I'm not leaving. I'm done with this shit. I'm done with this game. Okay, you people are just addicted to fear porn. Liv, would we support Hayden if she was suspended over something like that?
Absolutely. I could actually see her doing something like that. She's
Sue
very
their ass.
patriotic. She I think she was 8 and we went to a Houston Astros game and we got there a little late because normally we would get there to see warm up and we'd be in our seats. But we got there a little late. So we were walking through the stadium to get to our seats when the national anthem started. So we stopped right where we were and went so we could see the flag on the field. And 2 women where we were standing were sitting down and talking. Hayden, at 8 years old, went over to them and said, "Excuse me, the national anthem's playing. Can you please stand up?" At 8 years old.
Yeah.
And they sure stood up.
Because they looked at me and I'm like right behind her. And they're like, oh.
So I could totally see Hayden doing something like this.
Yeah.
She has no problem speaking her mind. And I'd be right behind her. I would Mama Bear would kick in, and our school district would not be happy that they did that.
Yeah.
They would be in a world of hurt and a shitstorm of no proportions if they even tried that.
So got to shift gears, folks. It's 9 o'clock, and we are desperately past 9 o'clock, and our goal is, this is what happened on Friday. And so it's got to be tough right now, but yes, people are trying. But if you have an opportunity, folks, thedumbshow.com/donate helps us keep the lights on, helps pay for the show, the bandwidth. Comcast was just here. They had to upgrade our line. It wasn't working, and we got on the show tonight. But those people are blood-sucking leeches. I am ashamed of myself for ever working for Comcast. I'm just going to say the amount of money that they charge us for internet is ludicrous. Folks, we've been talking about Gabriel Landeskog for a while, Colorado Avalanche, and it's a feel-good story. And I don't want to spend a ton of time on this because I know hockey isn't everybody's, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Shedeur Sanders thing because it is important because they're claiming racism that he wasn't drafted, which and if there's anyone here who can speak on the Colorado Buffaloes, it's probably going to be the guy whose father played for them and who went to their football camp and has been a huge fan of the Buffs since I was like 8 years old. So I'll give you my perspective. But we understand Landeskog came back 3 years, had a experimental knee surgery that no one has ever recovered from in major sports except Lorenzo Ball in basketball. But hockey is a much different sport. Your knees are single-handedly the two most important things on the ice because it's your center of balance. If they go, you go. If you can't stop, you can't play. And Gabriel Landeskog was probably top 4 power forward in the league when he was elite. And he hasn't played hockey in 3 years. Well, let me say that again. He has not played hockey in 3 years, where some of the top speeds in hockey are 23 to 24 miles an hour. This guy has a knee which most people couldn't recover from and walk upstairs. And he played his first AHL game, which we showed you. Well, game 3, not only did they expect him to come in and play on the third line and maybe pick up some power play minutes when it's a 5-on-4, and nobody's interested in hitting you when it's a 5-on-4, that he was just going to deflect some pucks or he was possibly going to be on the penalty kill. But nobody believed that he could actually go in there and skate and perform, except these two people sitting right here because we knew what type of character he had. And I told Olivia, I said, when he comes back, he'll be fully ready to go. He is not going to show up unless he can do it. Everybody has no idea how big it is to get him here. This team has been missing its heart for 3 years, and I want to show you. This is a guy who is going to be 34 years old.
33, I think.
No, he's 33 now.
Oh, okay.
So he's, well, maybe 33, but I trust you more than me when it comes to this. So we're going to say 33. He is essentially getting manhandled in front of the net. And I want you to understand the strength that this takes. This guy back here, his name's Bushell, I believe. He has probably 4 inches on Landy and probably 50 pounds. And I want you to watch how incredibly strong he is and just watch this. And then I'm going to show you something really cool.
To Sammy G. One, if you have any questions, is Gabe Landeskog knee feeling good? He's battling 6'7" Liam Bichel. He battled him for a solid 30 seconds before this goes in. I believe it deflects off of Bichel, but Sammy G, great shot.
So not only did he have an assist in the game, but this is the type of shot he has, and this was the roar of the crowd when he scored. I'm almost in tears right now because this journey has been so huge for Avalanche fans, and he's such a good guy. 2-0. This was the perfect game I told you about, and Landeskog is sitting right down here in the center slot. Watch what happens. And listen to the crowd.
With a ton of speed to the slot. A shot. They score! Guess who? It's Gabriel.
Come on now.
Oh, freeze.
Score! Guess who? It's Gabriel Landeskog.
See if I can get it.
Nothing. Colorado. An unbelievable shot here by Gabe Landeskog. And I got to repeat.
Gonna reopen it. It's worth it. It's worth it for me because I want to watch it again.
Yep. Beautiful goal.
And if you just listen to the Kachunk and the fact that he bars an in on this, and it is a powerful shot. You can't do that with a bum knee. He is 100% healthy, and honestly, he hasn't missed an effing step. The fact that the Colorado Avalanche just got a 95-point scorer, power forward, great power play guy, great lockdown center, is like everyone should be shit in the bed scared right now.
The shot, they score! Yes!
Because the Avs already got
With a ton of speed.
a lot better, and now with him skating at this level, here's the piece.
The slot, the shot, they score! Guess who? It's Gabriel Landeskog! 3-0, Colorado! An unbelievable shot here by Gabe Landeskog. And I got to imagine, Jody, being in that little celebration along the board for those guys that were able to celebrate with Landeskog after 1,032 days.
We were in tears, and it's a beautiful moment. I'll let Olivia talk. I will just say this, is that the guy, 3 years off in hockey. Listen, I played hockey. I'm not even close to anything decent, but I can tell you what it felt like after not skating for 2 weeks, let alone 3 years on a knee, that his cartilage was replaced in an experimental surgery. It's just exciting. I'm proud of him. And Olivia, your thoughts on this, and then we'll move on.
Someone want to know what the score of the Leafs game. Leafs are not playing right now, but they're up 3-1. Just so
Lightning
you know.
2-1 to Panthers.
Yep.
I expect that series to tie up. I think the Lightning are going to take it
tonight.
Yep, and then the Avs are playing at 9:30, which we almost, if we can hit goal. If not, Olivia's going to go watch it. And I'm going to sit here because we have to hit goal. Liv, your thoughts on this?
It was amazing. I mean, in game, he was cleared from the LTIR, which is long-term injury reserve list, about a week before playoffs started. And then he went with the team on the road to Dallas. He did not do anything on game 1. Game 2, he actually came out and skated during warm-ups. And Ethan saw it, and he came in here in tears. I mean, he was crying. He was so ecstatic. He did not play in that game, but he played in game 3. I think he looked great in game 3, but game 3 was kind of, I don't know, there was too much emotion around it. It was just,
out.
yeah, I think everyone was walking on eggshells. I think anytime he took a hit, we were all like, oh my gosh, please, you know. But I think we realized he can take a lot more than I think we all thought he could.
He's dishing out hits like crazy.
Yeah, and you were right. You said his first play, watch out, he's going to come and lay somebody out, and he sure did. But, I mean, it was an amazing goal. It was amazing to watch. You did. And it was amazing to watch, and totally stoked to be an Avs fan right now. I mean, just it kind of feels as a fan that you've been on this journey with him the whole time.
Yeah.
And with the team. And I know there were a lot of times where like, oh, they just need to let go of him. You know, we need the C on somebody else, but they never did. The team never gave up on him. They never quit, and they never put the C, which is the captain, on anyone else. They had 3 alternates, and
you got to give it up for Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar. They would not let them do that. I mean, Nathan, and I guarantee you, Nathan and Cale said either Gabe stays until he can't, or we're done. Yep. It's just a family. The Avs are a dangerous fucking team, and anyone who doesn't understand it, let me explain to you. Dallas Stars are considered to be probably the best team in the NHL right now, and they were predicted to come out of the West, and they have only led for 67 seconds in 4 games.
And the only reason they won 2 games was
overtime. So the Avs, whatever they did last game, they dominated Dallas. It was embarrassing. I've never seen a team get shellacked. That was an embarrassing game, and they just shut them down in all facets. All right, let's move to one more sports thing, and then we're going to go. Folks, I'm just going to do this, and then we're getting out of here. We're not hitting gold tonight, and I can't take it anymore because honestly, I gotta watch my game, and I can't sit here all night. But the $10, JD says, thanks for the show and talking sports sometimes because it's an important aspect for some of us. Listen, it's a huge thing for me too. Washington Capitals are doing fairly well against Montreal there, Amy. They look like they have a good chance, but Ovechkin pissed some people off last night with a very dirty hit, and that might spark Montreal up a little bit.
We'll see.
We'll see. I don't think Montreal. But here's the thing. Shedeur Sanders is the son of Deion Sanders. And I am a Colorado Buffaloes fan. I adore the Colorado Buffaloes. My father played for the Buffaloes. He recruited for the Buffaloes. I went to summer camp. I've met Bill McCartney, MJ Nelson, Charles Woodson, Keith English, Eric Bieniemy, Sal Anesi, Cordell Stewart, I think I already said. There's not many people I haven't met from the Buffs. Darian Hagan, a Heisman winner. I got to actually go around with or Heisman candidate, got to go around with Darian Hagan. I'm a MJ Nelson, huge fan of the Buffaloes. And I will tell you that it was a very fun year for the Buffs, and I very much enjoyed watching Shedeur Sanders. I very much enjoyed watching Shiloh, and I very much enjoyed watching the Heisman Trophy winner, and the Buffs were amazing. But I will tell you that I am very glad they're gone. And I'm glad they're gone because they're thugs. They're punks. And they're bad for our school. They're bad for the way they treated people, the way they treated ball boys, the way they talk shit to other people. This whole draft is going crazy because he was supposed to be a number 1 draft pick, probably going in the top 5 to 10. I said to Olivia, I said, he's not even going to get out of the second. He's not even going to get to this. He's going to get past the 3rd round. They're not going to take him until the 3rd or 4th. He went 5th. And everyone said it was racism. Here is what happened. A phone call took place. I'm going to show you a couple videos. And this is important because this is all over the news right now. Just a little bit about who Shedeur Sanders is, trying to turn college football into the NFL, and the NFL owners are saying no more. They're not going to allow this. The players have too much power, and they're not going to bow down to these college kids. Here's the video.
If you ain't trying to change the franchise or the culture, don't give me. So you should know history repeats itself over and over and over, and I've done it over and over and over, so it should be no question why an NFL franchise should pick me. You think I'm worried about what critics say or what people got to say? You know who my dad is? They hated on him too. So it's like it's almost normal. Without people hating, it's not normal for us. So we like diversity. We like everything that comes with the name. That's why we are who we are.
James says, Matt, take the remainder of my last donation. I can't, brother. I can't, man. We've already counted it. We gotta keep moving forward, buddy. We got a goal for a reason. So I appreciate you and love you, though. Thank you. So this is what happened as everyone is in shock that Shedeur wasn't taken. And let me just be clear. Shedeur is going to be a good quarterback for the league. He's got a great arm. He's got wonderful consistency. He has 4,000 yards passing, 4,100 yards passing, a 75% completion rate. If you get him an O-line, that kid is going to pick apart defenses. He just basically runs like Jim Plunkett. He's slower than dog shit. But he's a good kid, and if they can teach him how to scramble out of the pocket, he'll be successful. But what happened was, as all the teams passed him up, and this is ridiculous because 5 other quarterbacks were taken, and only one of them was even slightly better than he was. And people start saying it's because he's black, which is bullshit because there was like 27 black people drafted before him. But
I think the first round, second pick overall was black.
Yeah. Oh, it's college football. Are you kidding me? I mean, that's a stupid comment. But the Atlanta Falcons released this, and I'm setting this up. It says earlier this week, Jax Ulbrich, the 21-year-old son of defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich, unintentionally came across the draft contact phone number of Shedeur Sanders off an open iPad while visiting his parents' home and wrote the number down later to conduct a prank call. This is the culprit. This is the prank call as he is waiting to be drafted, realizing that his father and he are probably the reason why they're not, because the NFL took a stand. If all 32 teams passed up on this kid, a blue chip number 1 selection, they stood unanimously together and conspired against him to teach him a lesson. You don't control this. This is the NFL. Keep your ass in college. Enough of this shit. And they're stopping these kids from doing this and made an example out of them. That's what took place. Here is the phone call that took place as well. And this has to be embarrassing for him.
I can't hear it.
You will.
Hey, is this Shedeur? This is Mickey Loomis here, the GM of the New Orleans Saints. How you doing? This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints. How you doing? Good, how are you, man? Good, yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man. We're going to take you with our next pick right here, man. But you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, man. Sorry about that.
What does that mean? What? What'd he say? I don't know. How you gonna ask us what it means and you was on the phone? You heard that?
He said you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. Sorry about that.
Why did
he talk?
What the fuck?
Hey, that's I don't know what that was. It's 50-50. But nobody got this number though.
It was private.
So now this is being heralded as a racist Nazi. Oh
my
God.
gosh.
Right, that they're going after this kid. Finally, Cleveland, in the 5th round, Cleveland, the place where quarterbacks go to die. Some of the highest blue chip athletes, I'm talking 14 quarterbacks went here and their careers are over. And they called him, and this was the reaction of the Cleveland Browns when they drafted him. And if you guys have seen the draft, this is essentially like they just all got scheduled for their prostate exams. Watch this.
Is it reality in regards to Shador and Deion? Deion's not going to interfere. Deion's not going to be calling the coach. Deion's not going to be commenting about Shador while he's in Colorado. So I think there's a lot of...
So here's what it comes down to. Olivia's had a chance to watch the bus, but Amy, your thoughts on this? You were nodding up and down like, yes, you know the story. Hey, thank you, Bobby Richardson, for Amy.
Oh,
love you.
Thank you, Bobby. I love you so
thank you,
much.
Bobby.
Thank you.
You're the best.
My thoughts on this. I am appalled that they are pushing this as a racist thing at all, especially with the prank call. I mean, who hasn't been in, I mean, probably not college. I mean, like probably more of a high school thing or middle school thing to prank call people. So it's very juvenile in my opinion, but it's not a racist thing. This is just boys being boys and ragging on each other. It shows I mean, that's how you build these bonds. I mean, the amount of crap talking my 11-year-old does when he plays sports, it's appalling, but he leaves it on the field because that's just what boys do.
Right.
They totally rag on each other, but they're best friends afterwards. You know, they totally they're just ragging. That's just part of growing up. It's a part of finding your footing. I'm just freaking tired of the race crap. I really am. Like Deion Sanders was a thug in my opinion.
Yeah.
His son sounds like a thug in my opinion. He sounded so uneducated. It's like, did he even go to college? By the way he was speaking, it was really bad in my opinion. It's just my opinion. And I know that's like a way of life and all that. And I'm not being racist. I don't care. But don't come after people. And I'm so grateful that they put him in his place. I'm so tired of these children trying to run the world. It's sit down and let the adults run it. And we're going to do what we need to do. If you get picked last, sorry about your luck.
I couldn't agree more. And people are saying, well, Joe Flacco. Well, Joe Flacco wasn't a draft pick from the Cleveland Browns. Remember that. You got to go back to like Tim Couch. You got Brady Quinn, Brandon Weeden, Johnny Manziel. There's like freaking like 16. Deshaun Kaiser, Cody Kessler, Colt McCoy, Charlie Fry, Spurgeon Wynn, Luke McCown. I mean, top draft picks go there to die. And that's the truth. Listen, I remember Bernie Kosar. I remember the Cleveland Browns of old. I remember Eric Metcalf. I got no problem with the Browns. The Denver Broncos loved playing them in the playoffs and loved, having a great time against them. But quarterbacks go there and they die. And that is the problem. So, but I will tell you this. I bet you Shador is going to go win the start. This kid is not a loser. He's a winner and he's a cocky little prick. But he's going to go there and he's going to put his nose to the grindstone. I think he breaks away from his dad. And I think he wants to because they read him the riot act. They said, you're going to come here. I heard the phone call. You're going to work and you're going to show up and you're going to shut your mouth. This is the way they were talking to him when they went the phone call. He's like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. He knows. They were sending a very clear message to him. Now, as a 5th round pick to go and win the starting job, that's going to be a tall order. But this kid will do it. And I'll bet you another thing. I bet you Cleveland can make the playoffs next year because he's that dynamic. He is an amazing player. People say he's not good. I've seen this guy rolling to his left, throw flat-footed 65 yards into the end zone. Don't give me any shit that he doesn't have a strong arm. He didn't do the combine. He wanted to break the rules. Well, guess what? They paid him back for that. Now he's going to the Browns. And if you're a Cleveland fan, you should be happy. Liv?
Well, this is the NFL. And I'm not a huge fan anymore. I don't watch it. I'll watch it with Ethan. But that's about it. It used to be. I grew up watching the NFL. I was a huge diehard fan, but I don't anymore. Since I've watched them, and I could be completely wrong, but most GMs and recruiting staff and everything are all white men. Majority of them are white men.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of the players in the NFL are black.
Mm-hmm.
How can it be a racist thing when it was the recruiter's kid or the GM's kid who saw the phone number on an open iPad?
Yeah.
Of course he's going to be white because he's the GM's kid.
Right.
Because most GMs are white.
Right.
And most football players are black. That's just the way it is. It's not racist.
Yep.
It's a stupid kid
Yep.
that has been spoiled his little life because his daddy is rich, who's a GM for an NFL team, and he was playing a stupid prank on another kid who's his age. And they thought it was hilarious, but this is definitely not racist at all. I mean, if they're calling it racist, I mean, it's just dumb for them to think that.
Shador's a punk, and he's a kid, and he's a very rich punk, and that can have consequences. I just want to let you know, I understand what Cleveland has. I understand, but they also have a good O-line. So if you can protect him, this guy will throw strikes all day long. And he's got the capability. He's got a great arm. This guy does not throw a lot of picks. He doesn't push the pass. He puts it right in the numbers, and he weaves the ball into areas in quadruple coverage. I mean, the shit that he did was incredible. And I'm not kidding. Flat-footed, 65 yards, rolling to his left, end zone strike. Olivia remembers that. And yes, he was throwing to the Heisman Trophy wide receiver, but you still got to get the ball there. And he got the ball there. So let's see what happens.
A lot of these kids that got drafted were complete thugs.
Yeah.
Ethan wanted to watch the draft. It's like his Oscars. And so, of course, I watched with him. But a lot of these kids are, I mean, you haven't done anything.
Right. Earn it.
You haven't done anything.
Go earn it.
The suits they're wearing and the way they acted. And I'm like, oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Just, yeah, the attitudes of some of these kids. And then you got Travis Hunter, who was just amazing and was just smiling and was just happy to be drafted.
Yep.
And he's such a good kid.
I would have taken
And
Travis Hunter number one.
I wish him all the
incredible.
luck. I hope he does great next year.
And I love Cam Ward, but running backs have a very low shelf life, and most running backs do not work out in the NFL. Same with quarterbacks. And I will tell you, Cam's going to be fine. He'll do well if you give him a good line. But I will say that Travis Hunter is one of the most selfless, kindest kids you've ever met, and he's going to be incredible no matter what he does. Anyway,
he should be an example for how
Yeah.
college football players and a lot of NFL players should act.
Sanders has handled him, and he turned out right. So it's something in the Sanders blood that does this. And listen, that's my coach for the Buffs, and I like Deion. I like Deion as a head coach. I think he's a godly man. I think he's not a horrible human being. I think he's got a little bit of a mouth, but he does love those kids. I've seen him with those kids. He's amazing with them. Truly, he is. Levitt had something to say. Peter Ducey was having a little fun because Donald Trump was like, what's the NFL doing? Recruit this kid. What are you doing? And Peter Ducey says this, and listen to Carolyn Levitt. She's like, a few rounds later, lady, that was like literally a day and a half and like 20 hours. But here she is.
After the president's Truth Social post, the Browns finally took Shedeur Sanders. Does the president think he deserves credit for Sanders getting picked? And does he think going to the Browns is better than being undrafted?
Hey, I'm gonna. All I will say is the president put out a statement, and a few rounds later he was drafted. So I think the facts speak for themselves on that one, Peter. We'll go.
Yeah, few rounds later is another day and 20 hours away. I can tell you right now, the president had nothing to do with that. He did not make the NFL great again. I'm just letting you know, folks. It's a sad day. We did not hit our goal. It was a brutal Monday, but we're going to go ahead and say that's okay. At least we broke even, covered the stream, and we're hoping that the days can get a little better. It's been a tough month, and we know we got a big show coming up, so we can't wait to get that out of the way so we can start helping the show continue to grow. I don't have anything else. I do have a couple things that we could talk about, but honestly, I'm going to go watch my game and drown my sorrows into some yogurt. Amy, you've got 1 minute. Go ahead.
I just want to say thank you to everyone, and it's good to be back from vacation. Everyone asked, not everyone, a lot of people asked. I had a great vacation. It was wonderful. We went to see my family. Just a great time. It's relaxing. My son caught a bonnet shark, which was super cool. And yeah, it was just a really relaxed. We did a lot of boating, a lot of beach time. Just a fun.
It caught a what?
It's called a bonnet shark. I thought it was a hammerhead. Apparently, they're different. A bonnet shark is very different.
I've seen them.
It's got a rounded head, not a. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was a
Like,
hammerhead. They're like it's a bonnet head.
Yeah, it's yeah.
How big is the thing?
This size.
It was small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they do get bigger. It looks like just like a hammerhead. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it was not that
That's
big.
great.
Good for him.
And he caught it
Yeah, I'll send you a picture of him.
with like a rod and reel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm sending it. So that's him with his bonnet shark. They caught some other stuff too. It was just a fun time. It was just a great, relaxing time. It was just so nice to have a week of just hanging out with my family and just enjoying time. And it was just a great time. That's all I can say. So thank you,
that's
everybody,
wonderful.
for letting me have off the time. It's good to be back. I did miss everybody. I really, truly did. But it was just such a well-needed and wonderful time. So
And we give a hard time, but you have nothing to do with the donations. The donations have been really tough this month. It's tax time. People are waiting for the big show. I understand it. I get it. And we appreciate the people who have been able to. Anything helps, and it keeps us moving. And during the tough times, Liv, you got a minute?
Yeah. Thanks to everyone for being here. Appreciate it. Thanks for everyone who donated tonight. And thank you for anyone who is not a sports fan who let us indulge when talking about sports tonight. Appreciate it. Tomorrow it'll be you and Leroy. And yeah.
Look at that thing. Did you guys keep it or put it back?
put it back.
Oh, okay. Should have eaten it.
Doesn't look like there's much to eat though.
Right,
Yeah,
it's a joke.
it's
It's just a joke. Or hammer something in the boat. Open up a bottle with it. I want to thank everybody for donations. I want to thank everyone for being great. Go Avs. I want this game. We need this game. Got to have this game. Can't go down 3-2 against Dallas. Game 7s with DeBoer he's 8-0, and I don't want to play the Dallas. If we get through Dallas, Avs have a really good chance of going to the Stanley Cup. They're that good. So listen, I'm going to go watch my game. I want to say I appreciate everybody. If you have a chance after the show and you're watching and you're like, you know what, I didn't watch it live, but we got to this point, you can still donate. thedumbshow.com/donate. We will talk about it tomorrow with you.
It'll be on tomorrow's show.
And we appreciate you. Do not forget the May 16th show, folks. We're going to end it on that and then do the credits. So I'm just going to hit this and we will end it right after that. So thank you for everything. God bless. And we will see you tomorrow.
Night, y'all.
Night, y'all.
Bye.
The Dumb Show. May 16th, 2025. 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. One goal, one night, one chance. Chris Peranto, Laura Logan, Roseanne Barr, Jason Shell.
We will cover the Canadian elections tomorrow, folks. We did it on purpose. We don't want to distract from that, and people are watching, so we're going to talk about the Canadian elections tomorrow.
T.S. Dixon, Damani Felder, Barry Morgenstein, Ryan Samuels, Lisa Regina. One night only. The race to 20K is on. Be part of it.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.